Hey guys, this is Josh Valencia from Good Break Studios. Check us out at Good Break Studio on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook and go to the website www.goodbreakstudios.com. We should be getting a facelift pretty soon once I can figure out how to do it. But let's check this out. This is the real ADT 2V, which is actually one of the versions that comes when you buy it from Wave. So go ahead and check it out, and you should be able to enjoy that. Anyway. Here is the plugin. So basically what we have here is that we have the source. This is the source that we're going to be ADTing. So automatic double tracking. It's going to make it sound like it was actually double tracked. It's a technique they use in Abbey Road, where they use tape delay and a bunch of fancy mechanics to kind of get the tape to sound as close to a double tracking as remotely possible. So it was able to keep it tight, but at the same time natural, as if two people were singing the part. And what this is up here, this isn't necessarily left and right. This is actually the two tape machines. One of them is set to be ahead. This is milliseconds, if you see over here. So this one is about 17 milliseconds ahead of the source. And this one is about 16 milliseconds behind the source in terms of time. So that's going to give you a unique kind of perspective as to what's being done when in terms of singing the part. Then you have the different speeds. The speed is going to be how variable it'll kind of shift. So for example, this ADT1, I have it panned a little bit to the right. And then the other ADT, I have it panned even harder to the right, and then I have my dry signal over to the left here. But what this is doing is that there are two separate tape machines panned over to the right. One of them is moving what is this, at about 4, so it's moving about 4 increments, so like time increments, milliseconds. And then same for this one, and they're basically moving at two different speeds to kind of set them apart. It sounds like 3 people are singing. Essentially, you'll hear it when I play it, but there's a bunch of neat features here. You have an LFO where you could set how the variable speed works. You have different shapes: sign up, sign down, triangle, random. You could sync it, which is really nice. Or you could do the that's if you engage the LFO. If not, you could just use the latch function, and it'll just ping there. Or you could do the touch, where you could just kind of flick it with a MIDI controller. You could assign it to MIDI here, and you could flick it, and it should snap back into place. So that's really nice. Again, you have 2 in this particular version, and it is stereo, so that's really cool. Let's give this a listen without the plugin engaged.
In summer life calls to fed my summer go.
So that's a background, a BGV part that I want to get to sound a little bit thicker, a little bit more rich, and I just want it to sound like it's more than one person singing the part. So let's go ahead and unbypass the plugin, and you're going to see that what we have here, so we have ADT2 is moving, it's positive 5 milliseconds, so it'll constantly be moving that little space. So it's constantly moving 5 milliseconds there. Then this one, if I were to slow it down, there you go. This one should be moving over quite a bit, so we're going to go ahead and play it.
In summer life calls to fed my summer go. In summer life calls to fed my summer go. In summer life calls to fed my summer go.
So if you see what I'm doing, I was able to move. I just panned ADT1 over to the left, so you can get a better idea of what it sounds like. And then I panned ADT2 over to the right, and then I just left my source down the middle. So you can kind of get an idea of what it's doing. Then I have the drive. So for each ADT, you have a separate drive. It's basically a tube saturation for each. So you have some on the left, some on the right. In this particular example, just one happens to be moving faster than the other. Actually, one is moving faster while the other is slowing down. Which is all really cool. It is a little complicated, but it's just wrapping your head around what this means. So just because this one is over to the right and this one is over to the left doesn't necessarily, this is not pan. This is, time. So basically I could switch this over to the left and this one over to right, ADT1, and now they're just inverted. It's not that big of a deal. I could speed this one up and you can see it's moving over there. I could slow it down, I can move it to there. I can move ADT2 to be slower, ADT1 to be faster. My source is going to be the source, but You get the point. It's a different way to look at a plugin. The effects are really cool. Then once you wrap your head around it, you get some really neat stuff. So you have your drive on each, some nice tube saturation. I mean, sorry, not tube, tape saturation. So let's go ahead and give that a listen.
And summer life calls, so fed my.
What I'm going to do now is just show you what the tape saturation sounds like for the source.
And summer life calls, so fed my summer go. And summer life calls.
So there you get a good idea that it is really nicely harmonic. It's not really harsh. So whenever it's breaking up hardcore, it's kind of like a nice even thin grain. It's not super thick in terms of distortion. It's a really nice thin distortion. And that's really useful in the mix. I can imagine this sitting back, panned left and right. You could really get a nice rich vocal sound with only one harmony back there. So go ahead and check it out. Like I said before, check out a demo. It's only $99. You get so much out of it. I will try this at Microshift. This has a little bit more in terms of finer controls and visually, and mind you, they are doing pretty separate things, but this just does something in terms of usability and controls. Once you watch the video that Waves put out, it's much better than mine. But you get a good idea as to what it's doing. And I definitely go check that out. I'm actually going to put a link at the bottom because it's just really cool. I just thought I'd put something else so you guys could get my perspective if you happen to care. But anyway, again, this is Josh Valencia. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys check it out. See ya. Bye-bye.